What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Monday edition of the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you, along with a few of my friends. The coach is back at the G. Burbick Farm Studios. You got Billy Mack, well, where Billy Mack usually is, in the Mack Cave. And then we have Quinn Pushkar in front of the hockey standee, I'm guessing in Lisbon.
Yeah, I had practice today.
Good impersonation.
I thought that was Quinn for a minute there.
Sorry, Billy.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know. I guess I pissed off Billy.
Well, it is Monday, so there you go.
What else is there?
You haven't got fired in a while, Quinn. You haven't been in HQ in a while either, so you've been avoiding the fire bug.
I haven't been rehired yet, so.
Well, you're rehired today. You made it to the YSN Power Hour, so congratulations. It's not National Decency Day. I just put in it was National
Graduation Day.
It's National Graduation Day. It's National Graduation Day. Congratulations to the graduates of the year 2021. You have been through a year and a half unlike any other. And my goodness, have you ever got to take in a graduation yesterday at Lakeview? Congratulations to all the alumni now of Lakeview High School. Beautiful ceremony. It was awesome. The speeches were great. That's usually my favorite part of the graduation is what kind of speeches are you going to get? Are you going to get a special speaker, which is cool, but I love when the kids speak. I love when, I shouldn't call them kids, they're 18 at that point. I love when the seniors speak to their class and they keep it real. And that yesterday, that's what happened. So on this graduation, National Graduation Day, guys, I want to know, number one, were you looking forward to your graduation? Did you go to your graduation? And do you remember anything from your graduation? Quinn, this should be easy for you. You only graduated like 6 days ago. So let's go to the coach first, the one that is a long time past since he turned the tassel.
Yeah, back in my day in '02 when I graduated, I do remember my graduation. I remember that my graduating class was 45 strong, big graduating class, and that the ceremony only took 45 minutes. So we were all pretty stoked about that, just kind of quick in and out and over with. And I remember at least one of the speakers, because she did something kind of cool. She went around and asked everybody who they wanted to thank at graduation. And then she read off each graduate and who they wanted to thank and why.
Wow. That's really cool. That's kind of thinking outside the box there.
Must be nice
it was pretty neat. And, I think that's one of the cool things about having a small school and small class.
45. They graduated 131 yesterday. So that 45 minutes, and that's including speeches. That is humming.
Yes. Yeah, that's moving.
Billy, graduation. Do you remember it? Did you do it? And do you remember anything from it?
I was there. I don't really remember much about it besides the fact that it was probably about 4 hours too long.
Oh.
And of course, my favorite part of graduation day is when it ends and we all leave, because who likes graduation day? Let's be honest.
Quinn, one up that one.
So mine was long. I graduated with 431 people. And they just so happened to do it on the football field. And at Canfield, we wear red and black, and the guys were in black. And it just so happened to be over 90 that day. So it was fun. I don't remember much of it because I did fall asleep during it. I'm not going to lie. I had a nice overachiever sit next to me, so she was kind enough to wake me up when it was kind of important. So
imagine Quinn falling asleep.
You fell asleep during your graduation day?
I did.
On.
Well, we had 5
late
speakers,
night? Was it
and
late
then
night
all senior speakers.
before?
What?
Late night before? Or?
No.
Okay.
It was a long, long ceremony, and I had sunglasses on, and I kind of dozed off a little bit.
Oh, speaking of late nights before, so my class song was Freebird by Leonard Skinner. Yeah,
You're that old?
Did you graduate in 76? Like, what?
But Leonard Skinner was at Blossom Music Center the night before our graduation. And so as a class, we went to Blossom for the Skinner show.
That's kind of cool.
Was that a
Obviously,
buy
not
one,
the
get
original.
45 free?
It must
I'm
have
doing
been.
a lot of math in my head right now, Coach. How old are you?
I'm 37.
This is
Going on
correct, by the way.
800.
Yes, it was obviously not the original Leonard Skinner
Yeah.
band.
Bill hates any
That's what I was
occasion where
hoping.
people are invited and have to dress nice. Billy, you're not going to be my +1 to the Thai wedding?
I'm gonna wear a T-shirt that has
I
a
want to see
tie
Billy in a
on
tie.
it.
Are you?
I want to see Billy wear a tie.
Can we just do the T-shirt with the
Tuxedo?
tuxedos?
Yeah.
Tuxedo T-shirts?
It says I'm classy, but I'm here to party.
Oh, we're there to party. Make no mistake about it. When you invite the Power Hour, we come to mess it up. Not really mess it up like that way, but we come to make it fun. Let's just put it that way.
Somebody might go through a table.
I'm going to put my money on Betos.
I don't know.
I mean, he's
I don't
the
know if
only
Jeff
one out of
is
everyone
invited.
in the YSN roster that's been RKO'd, and he's done it twice. So,
I'll be busy out on the dance floor.
yeah. I just saw your moves in here there, Romeo. we saw all your moves.
Yeah, all of them out the bag. Just like, bag, dump them, get them out.
Oh my goodness, it was fun. It was we had a sales meeting here just before the Power Hour, and Coach was putting it all out there. Here we go. I'll put my Skittles on Betos as well. There we go. See, now Mosier's gonna. We're all going out to golf with Mosier on Friday. So if you got Friday off for some reason and you want to hang out with the YSN Power Hour crew, we'll all be at Berlin Lake Golf Club. That's where we're gonna be starting. What, 11 o'clock?
Yep.
Yeah,
About 11 o'clock.
maybe if you're lucky, I'll sign some autographs.
Bring your $3 for the Billy McCartney autograph session.
Billy's autographing checks to me,
Oh, here we go.
taking your money.
Did you say to his mother?
I'm
Is that what you
taking your money.
Oh, they said to your mother. I was like, dang, man.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, but us younger people, we don't write checks.
No, we go.
We have cash and
Why are you
cards.
putting yourself in a young category?
Because I look younger than you. You look like you're 50 with that shaggy beard.
Yet I'm
Baby
still
face.
7 years younger than you.
Baby
I
face.
think we all
You
lost
have
the
to be
best.
under 30 to be classified as young.
Baby
What?
face.
What?
Ouch.
You're the only one under 30 on this.
Hey, you're fired.
Exactly.
But you do act like a 90-year-old sometimes.
I have the body of a 90-year-old. I'm sorry.
Well, you also have the stamina of a 90-year-old if you're falling asleep at
That
your
I do.
graduation party.
That I do.
Or I guess your graduation. Did you sleep through your graduation party as well?
I didn't actually have a graduation party.
No graduation party?
No.
Quinn, my
I
mom
went.
likes you weird.
I went straight into working actually in college.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is not like a gender thing. I think ladies are like used to writing checks, right? Like that's how they. Like Sarah's all just she used a Discover card like crazy. Like anytime I'd use our debit card, she's like, no, use a Discover card. Use a Discover. Like they're gonna take more money from us. Like,
Right.
That's you don't use credit. Just take the money we already made. Like before, my mom was a big check writer. I don't know how that. I don't know. My
What
dad.
we
I
all
don't
know
think,
is cash is king. That's what we do know.
See,
Yes.
I like
Care to
cash
explain?
because there's pain associated with the transaction.
If you don't know, figure it out. Google.
Now you know. All right, let's get to some sports. Here's the topic I want to talk about today because this has got me baffled, guys. Is being able to we're in the midst of the playoffs, right? We're in the midst of the baseball playoffs. Softball playoffs are a week in, and we still have exhibition games going on. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit because you got games tonight, and I'll call out a couple. I mean, I'm not calling out the players, the coaches. I just don't know why you're doing it. You have a game in Columbiana, or in Salem, rather, where it's Columbiana and Salem tonight. You have a South Range versus, Fitch tonight. None of the players that, none of the ones are going to go. Probably none of the twos are going to go from a pitching stand. Why are we playing these games? Just for reps?
Yeah, the only thing I've been able to come up with is, we looked at a couple of the rosters for tonight's games, and it was like, oh, maybe this is like an opportunity to get a look at some of your younger guys that are going to be around next year, because it seems like for the most part the seniors are the ones that they're sitting out, seniors and key players.
Billy, what's your take?
I'm going to stick to this. I've said it 1,000 times. It seems like you get 27 games, go play 27 games. All right, that's the limit to play. Second of all, there is nothing like seeing live competitive pitching. All right, so when you're looking across and you got that guy's got a different jersey on, there's nothing like it. You can't. That's the one thing with sports in general. It's so hard to practice have a competitive practice and have all the juices flowing, the adrenaline and the coaching and the training and the working and getting through things. And around this time of year, we see it all the time. And back when we played, DJ, playoffs started and we were still finishing our season after we were eliminated.
I agree with that. But
it's not that way. It hasn't really been that way the last couple of years. But, it depends on the weather and the circumstances or whatnot. But I'm cool with it. You're not going to see a 1 or 2 probably pitch in this game, in any of these games today, because they're going to play Wednesday if you had a bye today. But I'm cool with it, man. Like, yeah, go get some work in, go get better. Keep getting better to the playoffs.
I mean, this is the same kind of narrative that we had earlier this year in football when some of those teams had week 7 off and they were begging to play each other. And a lot of these teams said, no, we need to rest up. We need to get healthy. What's the difference in baseball and football at this point when there's so much of the safety recognition being passed down from the national level to the state level to rest these arms, to make sure these arms are safe? And let's talk about freak injuries. I mean, you're a day, if not 2 days, away from the next round. So
I don't think I'm ever going to worry about an injury when I'm coaching anybody. I mean, injuries happen; they're part of the game. You can't ever prepare for them. You can only, train your body in a way. That's longevity. That's training atmosphere all the way up to this point. But I don't think it has anything to do with like being injured, like preparing yourself. Now, the 1s and 2s pitchers, they're not going to pitch. If they do pitch, it's an inning. Like it's just like it's a 25 pitch bullpen type of deal, or they're just getting out there. Maybe they haven't thrown. Maybe if your 2 hasn't thrown in like 7 or 8 days, maybe an opportunity today to throw them 25 pitches.
There's no concern at all from you. If someone gets injured, I mean, I'm not saying you're 1 or 2 pitching. I'm saying you're 1 or 2 if he's, because a lot of times you look at this. Let's be real. Your number 1 is a shortstop or a left-handed first baseman or something along those lines. What happens if it's a freak accident, they slide and they twist their ankle and they're out for 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would be willing to say that there's
Frozen Billy.
Was that
not that would say they're worried about an injury. I mean, it's just not how we coach. It's just not how we prepare each game, each day that we're in our sport.
I guess I would just put a bubble.
I just find it really interesting that we're seeing this at the high school level, when at the pro level we're hearing so much and seeing so much with the quote unquote load management.
Right. And listen, I'm all for it. I don't want to mix signals here. Play as many games as you can. However, I think when you get into that playoff week, you ease off a bit. You put your kids in a bubble and you say, listen, we're scheduled to play Wednesday. We'll play Wednesday. Let's get some soft toss in. Let's maybe inter squad. And I know I'm hearing them right now. I can hear people yelling at their, you can get injured at inter squad. Yeah, but it's a controlled environment.
I'll do you one better, DJ. So there's certain teams that plan for a long run, right? So you get 27 games. They usually will play 25. Okay. So after this week, what used to be, and this is new this year, but it used to be you played your playoff games Monday, Tuesday, and then you had all week, and then you played again Monday, Tuesday. Now this year it changed because there's a gap in between.
Yep. There's
at least a day, except for one district in Jefferson. For the district finals, that's changed. It's back to back this week. But other than that, you have that long break. So like pitchers are in a routine. Sports in general are about routines, right? And baseball is even worse when it comes to routines. So like every 5 days you should be on the mound pitching, to keep your arm in condition. So when you go 7, 8, 9 days without throwing, it's a weird thing. You're out of routine. So coaches will set aside 2 games and they'll play. There was times where we got an opportunity to see, I want to say it was like Ursuline versus some other team in Division II that was still in a bracket for softball years ago, and they played each other on a Friday just to get a game in because they had such a long break. And baseball has done it just the same.
And that's what I'm kind of getting at. And it was Anna Marie popping in. I mean, for those who don't know that Anna Marie is Joe Roth's mom at Austin Sound Fitch. Joe does it all. Like, he'll play first base. He's their number one catcher, and all the accolades in the world he deserves from that spot. And I think he's first team All AAC, which congratulations, Joe. And when we start releasing it, we'll be tipping the cap again. But he pitches, he catches, he plays first base. You know, I speak from experience from a catcher's perspective, and my mom will attest to this, is every time a catcher goes out there, they're risking their body and they're risking injury. I mean, everybody is, but the catcher is literally a target for injury when it comes to foul balls. Like, you can't half-ass being a catcher. You just can't, because that's when you get injured. What I'm trying to figure out is, can you, as a coach, Billy, I know you want to play that game, but can you honestly look at all those guys in the face and be like, you need to go full bore. It's a non-conference game. You need to go full bore, and we need to get some good reps in here, because I don't think you're going to get that with, in the back of their minds, they're playing on Wednesday, and they need to advance to the districts.
Compared to what? Just not playing? Is that one or the other?
Like, wouldn't you rather have a controlled situation where you can be like, okay, I know you're going to get the ball hit to you from a coach from behind the dish. It's going to be a pop-up, or you get a little bit of live or a controlled, inter-squad scrimmage.
Inter-squad scrimmages for me inter-squad does not do anything for me. It just doesn't. For baseball purposes, it doesn't. It doesn't create the environment enough to where it matches a live scenario. So at least in my experience, and that's 17 years. So it's not like it's been like 2 years. So my 17 years, it doesn't create the live experience that you really want. Yeah, I mean, you got to know your team first off, right? So that's your coach's responsibility to know and understand your kids and your team, right? So by saying that, if you understand your team and you understand who needs a break, right? So if you have a catcher who's a little banged up, well, if you only have one catcher, that's kind of your fault, right? So you need to get whether it's somebody ready. All right. Or maybe a JV kid have maybe an opportunity to play in that game that he could catch maybe a couple pitchers. Because again,
why are you playing JVs why are you playing this game?
But it's not, it's just not because now what you can do in high school, you could DH anybody, right? You don't have to DH the pitcher. So the catcher could come in and say, hey, we're going to give you off, but we want you to have those live at bats. You're the guy that's going to help us for the next round, for the next wave of playoffs. So he comes in DH for that young kid. And then if something happens where there's an injury with the catcher, then he can just be inserted, catch an inning or two if need be. But there's ways around. I mean, there's ways to do it and also protect your team. And again, that is a coach's responsibility. If he doesn't feel like he can do that, then he shouldn't play the game.
I mean, Matt was looking at some of the lineups earlier, and he he said, he looked at it, and there was some of the main players are missing. I mean, if your main guys aren't playing, I mean,
I'll put it to you this way: I would never do that. If I'm going to schedule a game, it's for those reasons, for reps for my guys to gear for the guys that I need to play well into the postseason. I wouldn't schedule a game and then be like, well, I'm going to bring up my whole entire JV squad to do it. That's pointless. That's just go play a JV game then, if that's what you're going to do. Like, there's no fault in that. But my starters are going to play in this game. Okay. But I might move some pieces around to protect maybe some sore arms or maybe, like a sore catcher. Maybe I don't want my catcher being beat up a day before. Like, those are natural things that they would do for baseball purposes.
Siggy hopping in here and saying, like, Hoops, long layoff in between last regular season game and first playoff game. Hoops coaches will sometimes set up scrimmages to keep kids sharp. Quinn, you've been quiet thus far. That's a basketball example. You know everything that Sigler just said. You can translate it for us into baseball. What does this mean from a basketball coach to a baseball atmosphere? Would you be willing to play a regular season game just to play it to keep your kids sharp? Or is there a fear in the back of your mind about, man, we're one bad play away from, losing one of our best players and one of the biggest years that we've had?
I mean, I'm kind of like Billy. I'm not really afraid of injuries because they do happen. I mean, they could happen anywhere. I mean, in baseball, I'm sure like hamstrings and stuff like that can always get pulled and stuff like that. But you could do that, I mean, running in the driveway. Like injuries just happen.
No
So I'm never really
you're not
worried
getting
about
an
that.
injury.
As for playing, well, I would pull a hamstring in a driveway. But
You don't run in the driveway. You don't run anywhere. You made it
when
3
it's raining,
yards
I
in a
run to get the
40-yard
mail.
dash.
I run to get the mail.
Your
As
butler
for playing a
doesn't do
game
it?
like this, to me it'd be a meaningless game because like what's to gain out of it? I mean, it's not a conference game. You're not playing for anything. You're just kind of just playing. So to me, it seems pointless. But in basketball, like Siggy said, is like you kind of can bring in like alumni to play a scrimmage so that you still kind of get a competitive look to it. Because old guys always want to play and they want to win. They're just competitive. It's just how it is. So in basketball, it's a lot easier.
Whoa. You can't be classified as old until you're over 30.
That's right.
I'm not classified. I don't play. Trust me. I would not play in that. I would hurt myself in a heartbeat. But like you kind of can, like you said, it's a controlled atmosphere. So you can get a lot more out of it and stuff like that. But playing a game like this is meaningless to me.
What I guess my answer, or I guess my last question would be, what are you getting out of this? Like I'm not seeing something that, okay, that makes sense for us to go. Like, listen, Salem's had a fantastic year. So has Columbiana. Why are we Fitch in South Range? They're in the same boat. And then
I think there's a lot. Like, what if you get a kid that's going? Confidence is everything, right? In baseball and softball. So you get some kids who maybe have been struggling, haven't been hitting very well. This is one of those games you come in and you say, hey, we're going to get some at bats. We've been working on it. Maybe over the weekend, you've been working on some things. You can come right here and execute some of the things that you did well over the weekend.
And what happens if he doesn't and it backfires?
Well, I mean,
yeah, but still, Billy, you're not going to throw the guy. Like, who are you going to throw?
What do you mean? Who are you going to throw? You got 18 kids on a team.
Who are you going to pitch? Like, you're not going to pitch your guys that need to play in the playoffs.
Right. You're probably not going to pitch your 1 or 2. Hey, hello. We've been through this part.
Like,
hello,
what would
McFly.
Like, what would it be then if I pitch to you? Like, what are you going to get out of that?
If you pitch to me, it's Jack City.
Yeah, but what are you going to get out of that?
There's still no proof to that, by the way.
What do you mean? What am I get out of that?
I don't think you can hit
Hitting the ball is a line drive in the box score, baby.
Let's just clear this up real quick, Billy. If I ever got to pitch against you, I'm aiming at you.
And you probably still miss.
I'm going right at you.
It's a pretty large. I'm a large person.
Curveball.
And you still miss.
I don't see. Again, and this is, not a knock at the coaches. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get their kids in, trying to keep them fresh. However, I think there's a lot more risk than reward with this strategy. I really do. And I hope we don't see it tonight. I hope we're not talking about this tomorrow saying, what happened? What happened last night? Now what do they do? Because I think there would be, if I'm in that situation as a coach, that is weighing on my mind unbelievably, because we didn't have to play. And you look at the game tonight. Game 1 at Scene Park canceled. East Palestine, Mooney. No reason given. East Palestine forfeits, and Cardinal Mooney will move on to play Columbiana on Wednesday. As soon as I hear that, if I'm Coach Wolf, knowing that Mooney doesn't have to throw anybody, I'm saying, hey, we appreciate the offer. Game's off. Yeah. I want to make sure we have everybody ready to go because Mooney doesn't have to play. And I guarantee nobody from Mooney's on the phone saying, hey, we got the field tonight at 5 o'clock if you want to come play. They're saying, let's move on in the tournament.
I would probably, because of the timing of when it was probably a little too late because, the message got out, 2:30?
I just can't imagine them saying, hey, we what are they going to do? Because they've got, like you said, Billy, before the show started, they got 2 solid starters. Why would you waste one of them right now in a game that doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. Why would you risk injury? I mean, you're beat up. If you're Mooney, you played on Saturday. You played a tough game against Springfield on Saturday. Move on. Move on to Wednesday. Enjoy. Get healthy. Get rested. You want to? Go to a different game. There's plenty of games to go to here tonight. If I was them, that bus to Scene Park would be a bus right over to Salem. and I'd be sitting in right field across from the left field loonies, and I'd be watching every player on that team. That's what I'd be doing if I was Mooney. But
I would imagine somebody will be at that game today.
But that's why if I'm Coach Wolf, I'm saying
either way, whether they played or not, somebody would have been there.
thanks, but no thanks. We're not coming. I mean, they have YSN for crying out loud. Columbiana has been on more than enough times to even just do it. I think we're changing the game on scouting the opponents. I really.
How do you scout baseball? I mean this like legitimately. Like, what do you scout when you go to baseball games like that?
Tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, so you go for pitchers, you go tendencies, how, you would grade a curveball, different speeds. So if you have a radar gun at hand, pocket radars are pretty cheap, speed of it. Hey, 85 mile an hour curveball, 77 mile an hour slider that throws it ahead of hitters, behind hitters, 1-2 counts, 0-2 counts, tendencies of 0-2 when he throws it. How big's the break? Does he slow his arm motion down? You want me to keep going?
We used to call UCLA when they come set. So you go here, you go U. If you're a base runner, you say U, C, L. And if they go on the L, if they do it more than 3 times, that's a tendency. And then the runners would pick it up, and you come in and you'd say L from the field.
Yeah.
And then,
that would be
runners know go on the third.
Yeah, so that's other things. You could pick up tendencies on how pitchers react to how's a catcher's arm. Can we steal runners? Do they throw over a bunch? Because usually that's a team thing. That's not necessarily an individual thing. Is the coaches maybe calling that from the dugout? How big are the leads? Are they the opposing team getting? Are they throwing over there? How big can we get? Can we be really aggressive? Outfield arms. Can we go first to third? Can we tag on short fly ball? I mean, there's just so many things that you can kind of pick apart. I didn't even get to the hitters.
It's the high heat. Does this kid, will he swing it an off speed that's in the dirt? There's all kinds of stuff that you can pick up on.
Yeah. Are they taking first pitch fastballs that are for strikes? Are they letting us get ahead early? Because then we don't have to throw off speed. We could just go ahead and go right to it, get ahead, strike one.
We received a text message when I was in the it was the booth. It wasn't at Scene Park. It was when the air was open, and the code, like the armband code, is practically new for everybody, right? So what we're hearing, all right, Billy, we get, you don't like the code.
I hate them so much.
But everybody loves it. So we had a coach say, hey, would you mind turning down your microphone? You can hear me shouting our code on your broadcast. And I said, well, why don't you be quieter? Speak your code a little less out loud, because everybody's got it. But he made a good point, and I thought to myself, wow, if there's a coach that is really that invested, buys our broadcast, and you sit there and you can track down the code as to what they do during the broadcast, especially if you have a full view like we typically do at Scene Park, man, you'd have a leg up. But that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
for something that you might get right, you might not. You don't know if they change their codes every game. I mean, there's a lot of things you don't get.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. For one of the reasons, if one of the kids lose one of their bands, it's over, right? So I mean, and we all know how high school kids are. They're so responsible, and they make sure their glove and their cleats and their hat and their uniforms are all in their right spot. So nobody ever shows up with wearing tennis shoes and goes, "Oh, mom, I forgot my spikes." Right? So that's not a big one. That doesn't happen, I'm sure, all the time, but I'm sure it happens enough. I mean, baseball has been a weird sport because people have been stealing signs since the beginning of baseball.
There's an app now for stealing signs.
What?
Have you seen that? Where you basically record the guy and it comes up with, it cracks the code for you.
Who does that call? The Astros app?
It must be, yeah.
My goodness. They cracked the code for you?
The Houston Astros? The Houston Astros app.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm not that guy. I know what the difference between the Astros and the Astro Falcons.
Yeah.
Some people on this broadcast may not this particular one, but we've seen it before.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. We come back. Still a lot to talk about, guys. Again, I still think this is something that needs to be discussed. Is, do you play these games? Do you what's the student side of it? We've heard the parent side of it. Anna Marie chimed in from a mother side of it. I'm interested if there's any coaches out there that outside of Billy Mack.
You and I saw that with Joe earlier this year. Remember on the game that you and I did together there, where he took that foul tip off the throat, and that was a scary situation.
Yeah, I mean, like any doctor, anytime you go into the doctors, it's 4 to 6 weeks, right? So at this point of the year, you want to avoid the doctor at all costs because that's your.
And make sure you pay that copay on the way out. All right.
And by the way, I'm going to need to see you for a follow-up.
Gosh. We'll take a break again. When we come back, we will talk more sports around the Valley and sports on the national side of things. It's your YSN Power Hour from Monday. Almost said February. It's May 17th. Back after this.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well-appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
If you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of new Ford models. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your new Ford. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their new Ford at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Hey, and welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Oakley with you, along with a few of my friends, the Coach, the Mac, and the Quinster. Here, yes, I said the Quinster. Guys, we will, thanks to Billy Mack for reminding me, we will be releasing our All YSN Baseball Team Part 1 tonight, just following the YSN Power Hour. The reason we're not doing it during Power Hour is, number one, because some of these kids are just getting out of school or just getting to practice. So we want to make sure that they are able to have the entire experience. So we'll release that on our social media channels. Maybe we'll get back to releasing it tomorrow during the Tuesday edition of the YSN Power Hour. But as for today, we're going to have to wait a minute, partially on a recall of what?
You gave a number one. Was there a number two?
What?
You said number one because most of these kids are just getting out of school. I was waiting for the number two. Oh, okay.
You always
two
wait
because
for number two. Because we love you. How's that?
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Why? Because we love you. It's from the Mickey
I've been watching some old like rock promos. So like I'm in the it doesn't matter.
The Rock, the great one. Yeah, I mean we love that stuff. I mean if you don't know that by now, how much we love wrestling and the kind of smack talk that leads into it. That's why Mac is the way he is. That's why I'm the way I am.
The promos were where it was at.
I mean, love the promos.
They were really cool, and I think we talked maybe a couple weeks ago about how cool some of these look backs that they're doing on A&E are.
I just want to drop in on Harley Davidson.
I want to drive the beer truck to the ring.
Were you a Stone Cold guy? That was your guy?
I was a Stone Cold guy. Yeah, I liked Stone Cold.
Billy Mack, what were you?
I was a Stone Cold guy, and then I grew out. Once he kind of phased out a little bit, and he was hurt, I became a Triple H when he became the Game.
Yep.
Who was
I gravitate to the bad guys. Like,
No.
not a shocker. Like, love the NWO. Everybody loved the NWO though. So, but really, I really liked Eric Bischoff, like more than I like Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash. Like, Eric was the guy I was like, that dude is the shit.
He's running the show.
Who was the first guy that you were like all in on?
The very first guy,
Hulk Hogan.
it had to be Stone Cold. It had to be Stone Cold.
Okay.
Dude,
At least I can remember.
I was the Hulkamaniac. I was the epitome of a Hulkamaniac. I was doing push-ups. There's pictures of me doing this guy, like shaking like uncontrollably. Like I was a Hulkamaniac. I was a Hulkster. I was everything. And then like they went off the air. They went on to what, TBS or whatever. We didn't have cable, so I mean, wrestling had waves. I think we all know that it kind of went every 10 years, every 8 years or so for a while there, and the waves went away. Now like
now it stinks.
I tried to watch it last night, and I was like, "What is this? This is garbage."
I watched about 40 minutes of it, and I was like,
But I will say this. I watched something last night that inspired me for Audible Call coming up this fall. They actually had an entire wall of tweets and social media hashtags and stuff that would pop up while they were watching the events. So one of the things I'd like to do is have a scenario like this fall where we can bring on the game of the week that we stamp as that's the game, and we put it on the like there'd be the four of us on the side, and then we could watch the game and have live commentary during the game, which I think would be awesome.
I think
I'll picture.
Say that again, Coach.
I think I'll be busy in the fall.
Not that busy. Let's not get crazy. Let's not. 32 option.
Hey, we're going to throw the ball this year.
You're going to throw the ball this year?
I'm going to throw the ball this year.
Okay. I think half the teams you play believe you.
Good.
Lee Tonia's sitting there writing down notes, going to throw the ball. But yeah, I mean, Quinn, were you a wrestling kid?
No.
Your butler wouldn't let you watch?
I never was into that.
That's ridiculous.
Still not.
Every kid should have to go through the professional wrestling phase.
We used to have like factions in school. Like when we were in middle school, we had like a crew that was DX and a crew that was the NWO.
All right, everybody get ready for the collective eye roll from the comment section.
Billy Mack strikes me as a big show kind of guy.
Nope.
Did you watch The Pens? I did not. I listened to it. I was frustrated I didn't watch it. Sounds awesome. And Friday Night
Here's
SmackDown.
the one.
Oh, boy.
Of course.
Thanks, Jeff. Dynamite drop-in money. Those years of broadcast school really paying off.
We
Is there
just take a
anything
second
like-
here and realize that Jeff spelled McAfee wrong.
Yep.
He spelled it like the antivirus. Is there anything that Pat McAfee could do and Jeff Bezos wouldn't worship him?
No.
I'm hard to think of something.
He could probably do some Dennis Rodman stuff, and he would be okay with it.
I don't know what Dennis Rodman stuff you're speaking of.
Wearing a dress, signing for a book signing, and
being
Bezos would
friends
eat
with
that
North
up.
Korea.
Yeah.
Marion,
Well, if he was friends with North Korea, that might do it for Bezos.
That
I
might
don't know. I don't know.
Although
I think
you all right over there, Mac?
I don't know, man. Like that's a toughie.
I don't know. It's one of those situations where like Jeff loves Pat McAfee. And I don't know that I love my family, I love my wife. I don't know that I love her as much as he loves Pat McAfee. And that's not a bad thing. I love her with my whole heart. I think Jeff has two hearts and they both beat for the number one punter. I just don't know what to say about it.
They both beat for the brand.
Yeah, Jeff beats in a different way for the brand, I think.
You think with all that love, he could at least get McAfee to show up on the Power Hour one day.
He doesn't even have a McAfee jersey. I'm the only one that has a Pat McAfee jersey.
Pat McAfee doesn't even.
Oh, he's not that big. He's not that big of a fan then. He's not that big of a fan.
He doesn't even have a.
Yeah.
I don't think he even has a for the brand shirt.
But who buys the punter's jersey? I mean, other than back in the day, Jim Tressel probably bought the punter's jersey.
Jim Tressel can do no wrong. So you take that back right
I
now.
agree. And I love the fact that he put such an emphasis on special teams. But it's just people know him as the guy that loved the punt.
Yeah. Trestle ball, right? That's what they called it?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Jeff has gone full bore with Pat McAfee. Like, at least bid on an auction item and get on his show or something. We saw the weird
Or just
picture.
go buy one of his T-shirts, like something.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, do you think Betos does McAfee antivirus just because he thinks it's associated with Pat McAfee?
Yep.
It's sponsored.
And he's not even supposed to be on the show. Betos. I have a yikes shirt and a wow. Am I a bigger? I would say yes. At this point, you're a bigger fan, Kate, than Jeff Betos.
Absolutely.
I have a For the Brand T-shirt, got beer all over it.
You don't have a washing machine?
No.
He doesn't give us a timeline as to when the beer was spilled all over it. He just says there's beer all over it.
Like, do you just use it as a rag now? Like, just wipe it up with beer, heck.
It's the one that he was wearing when Pat put his arm around him and took the picture.
No,
so
those,
he
no,
He's got it
that's a
framed
different
up.
stain. He's not allowed to wear those anymore. Oh my gosh! My goodness! All right, so it looks like Albert Pujols is officially signing with the Dodgers. Billy Mack, being a Padres fan and Northeast Ohio's #1 Padres fan, I want to get your take on this. I mean, the Dodgers, got to look at them the other night because I'm allowed to have MLB TV. I'm excited about that. New experience for me. Dodgers
It's awesome.
They look unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they do.
To the point where Clayton Kershaw is joking about winning the Silver Slugger for pitchers, and he might do it. Does adding Pujols bolster what they're trying to do and win another world championship?
Yeah, I mean, if you were getting Pujols like 15 years ago, I'd probably say that'd be something to be worried about. I mean, Pujols is, 52?
Oh.
He changed his name. Once he didn't get signed at 16 years old, he changed his name, went 16 again 5 years later, and then became Albert Pujols. So no birth certificate ever found on Albert Pujols. You could check that. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it's a cool signing, but, it's kind of like the NBA version of ring chasing, right? So that's cool, but I'm not worried about Albert Pujols signing. I mean, I'm more worried about the Dodgers in general because they are the real deal.
Does this make the Dodgers better?
No.
He's a clubhouse guy.
Where do you put him?
No.
Where's he gonna play?
He's going to be a platoon guy. You know what I mean?
Did he even play for the Angels?
games.
He might play like 1 out of every 6. He might play once a week
That's
somewhere.
what I'm saying. One
Did he even
every
play
3
for like
games.
the Angels though?
Yeah.
Like, other than
For the
DH?
Angels, and he played.
No, like other than DH. Like, did he even get in the field?
Yeah, he played third.
He played third base
And then he played
this
first.
year. Yeah.
What did Pujols do to you, Billy?
Nothing. It was just a joke. Maybe one person who watched the show got.
I got it.
I understood it.
You don't. This signing does not make the Dodgers any more dangerous.
No.
No.
Even in a 9th inning situation with runners on second and third, you got Albert Pujols on the bench. You don't figure it. Wow.
No. It's a similar role to like Jason Giambi did with the Indians, right? That would be something like that. That would be like Giambi didn't play. Giambi didn't play that much, but like he still had. Yeah, but Giambi still had enough steroids in him that it worked out pretty well.
That's what I was going to say. If Pujols does for them what Giambi did,
I don't know if he'll have the same.
then
Like,
they're definitely more dangerous.
I don't necessarily think that he'll have maybe that impact. His role on the team will be similar to like what Giambi's was. How
Okay,
about that?
so let me ask you this question. This is an honest to God question, Billy. We know you're a San Diego fan now, but out of the Pirates and the Indians, which team is surprising you more?
Pirates.
Yeah.
And it's not like I thought, because I thought the Indians would flirt around 500. Like they could win as much as like 86 games. I thought that would be on the high end, and on the low end like 77. So I thought that's where they would be. The Pirates just seem they go through, and you would know because you're a Pirates fan, but they go through months where they'll just play really good baseball, and then it all comes crashing down. Then they'll lose, one out of every, they'll lose 15 straight. They'll do something like that. I don't know. They're just young. They don't care. They just go out there and play ball. I can get behind it. They're not going to lose 100 games.
You hear that, Siggy? You hear that?
They're not. I said that from day one, but yeah, I would say the Pirates.
Which team do you think will stabilize quicker? Because right now, both of these teams are kind of in limbo. They're trying to figure out who they are, Pirates or the Indians.
Well, history will show the Indians are going to be the ones that stabilize themselves sooner. Number one, they still have pitching. They have pretty good pitching. They have Ramirez there. What are they going to do with him? Do they sign him? Do they trade him? That'll be something that you could see. History tells me that the Indians will stabilize quicker.
Well, and on top of all that, DJ, you and I have had the conversation that you don't have as much trust in your front office as the Indians do in theirs.
I've changed my tune on that.
I will say this. Right now, I believe, this is just my opinion, the Pirates, it's kind of like the Browns. The Pirates have a lot of young talent. So if they come on all together, kind of like how that 16 class did for the Indians, they might just explode and just take over baseball and play at a high level. Now, do I see that happening? No. But you get 2 or 3 players out of there and maybe a couple of them hit, could have something.
Yeah.
That's right, Sigler. You remember that. Doubt my buckos. The Indians are sitting at 21-17, and I think the Pirates are almost exactly the opposite. Let me double check here. They are 17-23. So, over the weekend, the Pirates were down to the Giants, and the Giants are no slouch. They were down 4-0 and then 6-2. Came back and won the game. They also won a very tough game in extra innings. That's what I like about this team. I like that nobody expects them to win. Nobody wants them to win. Not even their own fans a lot of times, and yet here they are at 17 wins. I
will say they're about to get a good pitcher next month.
Who?
Maybe it's 2 months. The Vanderbilt kid.
Oh yeah, but we won't see him for 7 years.
If they're smart, bring them up.
It'll be the same thing that Jameson Tyone.
Just bring them up.
It's going to be a while before you see him. I want to know which one they're going to get. Is it Lighter?
It doesn't matter.
Lighter.
It doesn't matter.
I want to see Lighter. If I had to pick,
it really don't matter. They're both going to be really good.
Indians got smacked around most of the weekend.
Yes.
Listen, Paige. Listen, Ty's not here because Ty talked some trash last week about Anthony and about the Indians, and this is the Indians team. Listen, I'm not trying to trash the Tribe at all, but what I'm going to say is, they're going to have to go through some adversity. You can't just sit here at 21 wins or whatever it is and act like you're going to go to the World Series. You're in second place right now. The Twins, I think, are the most underachieving team in baseball. If you would have told me the Twins would be in last place, I would have told you you're out of your mind.
I didn't think that everybody was putting them on that. It was going to be Chicago, then the Twins. I could see them third, fourth, but I didn't think I would see them at the top 1 or 2. But they are not playing as good as they should be, for sure.
13 wins.
It was a lot of fun over the weekend to watch Jake Bauers look like a blind man at the plate. I'm pretty certain that you could have blindfolded any of the 4 of us and put us up there, and we'd had a better chance of getting a base hit than Jake Bauers did this weekend.
The Twins are the worst team in baseball. It's official.
Yes.
13 wins. Now, I will say this. If you had the Mets in the National League lead, cross that off on your bingo card.
Yeah.
Also, here's another one. Oakland Athletics, 25-17.
Man, Billy, and starting off, what was it, 0 for 9? 1 for 9, something like that? They started the season off?
Yeah.
And then went on an 11 or 12 game, maybe it was 15
they might
game
be
winning
starting
streak.
to come down to earth a little bit because they're 6-4 over the last 10.
Billy Bean figures it out, though, man. He's on a different level.
And you know what bothers you is the Astros sitting there a half game back in the West. You know how many people that bothers?
Mhm.
Because now they're not cheating, and now it's going to piss a lot of people
Well,
off.
we can't say that they're not cheating. They may have
They're
just found
cheating.
a way.
They got more creative with cheating.
Yeah.
I hate the West Coast.
What's the old saying? Once a cheater, always a cheater. You know what they say?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
See, I disagree with Michael Page on the West Coast trips, though. I love being able to lay in bed at night and fall asleep to baseball.
Then you need MLB.TV, not a sponsor yet. Because, listen, I did that the first night, and it was heaven. And now they have this thing called the Big Inning. Have you tried that, Billy?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's like the audible call for Major League Baseball. It's phenomenal.
As a man, a couple summers ago, I went through this phase where I was like, I'm not paying DirecTV a $200 bill no more, so I got rid of it, and then I got some free, we'll just say some free stuff, and then I bought MLB TV, and I walk around my house like this.
Yep.
You got 750 feet of coax cable.
Listen, there was some guy that came. It's dead silent. Matt and I, yes, we actually do work during the day here. Some guy walks right past, and all we hear him is he's shouting into his flip phone that he just purchased 750 feet of coax cable. Like,
We just
do you
look
need
at each
with
other
that?
like, yeah, nothing shady's going on there.
Like Matt pulled the old, he's stealing cable from a neighbor 7 blocks down the street. I mean, what do you do with 750 feet of coax cable? There's nothing you can do. Why do they even sell it in that quantity?
I do it comes in 1,000-foot rolls.
I can't imagine. We got to talk to our cable friends and ask them what you could possibly do.
Maybe they're stealing something. Maybe he's the same guy stealing your internet.
We're not kidding. Our internet's not being stolen. The only stolen internet we have is when a dude rolls up in a white car and picks off our Wi-Fi 50 minutes before he goes on the air.
By the way, so this is off topic, but one of the days we did a show, Quinn and I did a show. We were at Next Level.
Yeah.
And we're waiting to do Headed Home series with East Palestine. And we're like trying to find Wi-Fi. So we're pulling in. Do you know what the Wi-Fi is there?
Huh.
FBI surveillance number 1. I'm like, this is awesome. And Quinn's like, is this really the FBI? I'm like, it can't be. But that's hilarious.
Somebody that lives in my neighborhood is, you don't need to start your Harley Davidson at 4 a.m.
Is that the best one you've ever had? Is the FBI surveillance?
Off of memory, yeah. I mean, that was, to me, that was pretty funny.
And that is a good one, because you look at that and you go, ooh, nope. All right, well, that's going to put a cap on the regular portion of our show. Good topics today, guys. Great topics, great conversation. But you know what it's time for now? It's time for the G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef? What's Your Filet? Brought to you by our friends over at G. Burbick Farms on New Buffalo Road. Visit them on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Let's head over to Coach. Get us started there, cowboy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a beef today. And if you are a friend of mine on Facebook, then you'll know that my beef is my dryer is having some issues. I decided, like most single guys on Sunday night, that's the night to wash the bed sheets. And I don't have a backup set. And with my dryer being on the fritz, I had damp sheets when I went to bed last night.
So that's better than damp sheets when you get up in the morning, right?
That's right, yeah. I haven't had that problem in a long time.
Billy Mack, what is your beef or filet?
Put me on the. There we go. My beef is with the beef man himself, G. Burbick.
Uh-oh.
Here's why. Being a part of YSN, it is too hard to come at 3 to 9. I need a special time. I need a special time to come. I got a smoker to Traeger. It's right there. It's all seasoned up. It's ready to go. And I'm like, I'm going to go get me some G. Burbick Farms. And then I have to go check real quick and see what time they're open. I'm like, I need a YSN time. Let me come in early.
Well, I think we can make that happen. That's easy enough. I'll tell Greg to meet you down.
Can we get Greg to just let you put like a Yeti in the back of your car and sell meat out of the back of your vehicle?
No.
I was thinking I could come in and shop on Mondays.
That might be the shadiest thing I've ever heard. Get your G-Burger Farms out of the back of somebody's Equinox. All right, Quincy, what do you got?
It's a very simple beef. It's with Billy. I built his grill. I didn't get an invite to eat with his grill, and he helped me with one thing, and that was one screw. Unbelievable.
First off, here's the thing.
Unbelievable.
What he says is 100% accurate. But I have not cooked on it yet at all. Because again, I don't have no meat. I have to go to G. Burbick.
Still haven't gotten an. You can invite. You can still send an invite.
Oh, once I get
you still send the invite. Hey, I'm planning on doing
Once I get the goods,
free?
then I can set a time.
Hey, are you free this day? I might be, cooking.
I gotta get the goods, man.
No,
once I get the goods, then we're good.
Unbelievable.
Filet get to golf with you guys on Friday. Who's taking me on? 8 handicap, shot 72 yesterday. The first part of that I understand. The second part might as well be hieroglyphics.
How many strokes are you giving me? No, not you. Him.
I'm not giving you any strokes, buddy.
I don't need strokes against you.
Beef. Can't get my wisdom teeth out until the end of July. These things are going to be the death of me.
Ouch.
I knew he didn't put together. Incapable.
I think she watched us put that together the entire time.
You ever hear the thing, hey, work smarter, not harder? I take that to heart.
You ain't smarter than me, so don't even start that.
I'm just surprised Quinn did it instead of hiring his butler to come do it.
Jeffrey! My beef, not much of one. I would say I'm excited. My wife has wanted new flooring for 8 years, and she finally gets it, courtesy of our friends. So I appreciate them taking some time out. It's going to take the whole week. We've completely remodeled our house because we needed flooring. Don't understand how she did it, but she did it. So well done, Sarah Yoakley. We're all proud of you for pulling that one off and letting everybody know. Number one, you get flooring, you get walls, you get the whole shebang right here in Casa de Yoakley. So happy early anniversary, happy whatever. But I got golf clubs out of it, so I don't care, which are now in outside of my 3-wood, which I will dominate everybody with on Friday at Berlin Lake Golf Club. So
can we have a show beef today?
A show beef?
Yeah, a show beef. So the show beef for me is people that steal our thunder. Listen, the beef and filet thing is ours. Don't be trying to. I'm not pointing at anybody in particular, and if you know, you know. But there's people out there that are trying to do the beef and filet thing.
No, I will not be getting the Miami Marlins jersey. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan.
We talked about this at lunch. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this custom DJ Yoakley Pirates jersey. That's what I'm a fan of right now. Little hustler, baby. I just want you to know. I'm interested to see this one in the post game show. Who that could have been? You'll have to let me in on that one.
It's in the group chat.
It's in the group chat?
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out. That's gonna do it for our show. McDonald's.
Yeah, you got it. Winner chicken dinner.
Marky Roth, baby! Hit the nail right on the head. All right, that's going to do it for our show. We'll see you tomorrow from 3 to 4 right here on YSN. Don't forget a ton of games on tonight. The $9.99 paywall is up just for playoff games. Should we go over them real quick?
Sure.
We got time restrictions. Baseball tonight, Austin Fitch versus South Range. B. Miller will have the call. Mark Franken will have Columbiana at Salem. Springfield at Boardman. Alec will have that one. All those are absolutely free. You know what else is free? These ones. Scene Park Class B 14U Baseball. Richie will have the 5:30 games on Scene 2 and the 8 o'clock game on Scene 2. Andy will have the 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And then I will have, what do I have? Crestwood at Ursuline on Scene 1 at 7 o'clock. We will also have Gerard at Poland. Eric will have that. Jamie will have Lakeview at Hubbard. That is all the baseball games for the playoffs. And then, of course, softball, we got you covered as well, where Alec is at Bristol at McDonald. We have Anthony at Chardon at Fitch. That game's starting literally right now. Lisbon at Brookfield. Ian will have that. Anthony will also have you covered at 5:30 with Boardman at Hoover. And Alec will have you with East Canton versus Western Reserve. That is your lineup. That is your rundown, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers. Anything else for the good of the gang here?
I will see you soon, Greg.
We'll see you next time tomorrow, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, right here on the YSN Power Hour. Until then, boys, you know what it's time for.
Wave it.
Wave it.
Where is it?